It's been revealed the New South Wales Premier's ex-boyfriend, Darryl Maguire, had 5 times the amount of official meetings with her than any other backbencher, as Labor claims he received special treatment. Charlotte Mortlock is in Sydney this morning for us. Charlotte, the Gladys Berejiklian says all her trips to Wagga were legitimate.
Yeah, and Laura, of course, that is the seat that was held by the disgraced former MP Darryl Maguire. The Premier made 11 trips to the Riverina electorate since 2015, and the Daily Telegraph reports that that outstrips any other regional electorate like Barwon or Orange by 3-fold to even 10-fold. Labor says that no other MP was given the same level of access or influence to the Premier, and this comes as the parliamentary inquiry into the Stronger Communities Fund calls on Ms Berejiklian's former Chief of Staff, Sarah Cruikshank, and her current Senior Policy Officer, Sarah Law, to give evidence. Now, more than $252 million were handed out to councils that were almost exclusively in coalition-held electorates. Of course, this has been the latest scandal for the Berejiklian government after a multitude of different ones over the past 6 weeks. We are set to hear from the New South Wales Premier, Gladys Berejiklian. It has been a few days since we have had her doing any media, of course, after the scandal last week at ICAC, with her questioned and grilled over her close personal relationship with Darryl Maguire. We know that she did an interview with the Daily Telegraph with a gossip columnist. She also did a number of radio interviews. But this is going to be another interesting and possibly tough day for the Premier, with no doubt more questions on the way. That press conference will be at 7:30 this morning.
Well, essentially what we've revealed this afternoon is that December 7 is a crunch date for Gladys Berejiklian. The point here is, Kieran, if ICAC is going to either find against the Premier or just criticise any of her evidence or any of her conduct or raise questions about it, the Premier will know that by December 7 and will have to have a response back to the Commission on February 1.
As you said, a crunch date, December 7. More interesting evidence as well. You've been looking at the exhibits, the ICAC exhibits. Talk us through it.
Yeah, let's pull up this email from Darryl Maguire to several staff in then Premier Mike Baird's office in 2016, including to Baird's Director of Strategy, Nigel Blunden, where, again, he's lobbying on behalf of a project that's not in his electorate of Wagga Wagga. It's to assist a proposed development in Camellia in Sydney's West, and he bags out Rob Stokes, then Planning Minister. He forwards a complaint from a developer, Charlie Demi, and he said, here is why Stokes is making dopey suggestions to get rid of NG, which is negative gearing, when there's a very clear failure, as you see in the correspondence. It needs just one DEP RMS, I'd say there'd be a Deputy Secretary of Roads and Maritime Services, to do their job, and thousands more homes can be delivered. I can show you dozens of examples. Please forward to the Premier. I've taken this matter up with RMS to help this guy. Well, really, considering his duties, that's none of his business. But what's also interesting about this email, I think it's Exhibit 317, is it's then forwarded 19 minutes later to what appears to be then Treasurer Gladys Berejiklian's email address. Sends it to the Premier's staff, doesn't CC her, forwards it on. 2 months after this, Gladys Berejiklian becomes Premier. Rob Stokes is moved from planning to education. Anthony Roberts goes into planning. Now, I went to Gladys Berejiklian's office about this today, and she pointed out that she reappointed Rob Stokes as Planning Minister after the 2019 election, gave me a statement to that effect. At Question Time today, Gladys Berejiklian, she was asked about our story, this is New South Wales Question Time, about the fact her office called on ministerial staffers in 2018 after Darryl Maguire was named at ICAC and resigned to come forward with any allegations they might have against him or any information that could be useful to ICAC. At that time, former Trade Minister Noel Blair's office did exactly that. We know Gladys Berejiklian did not approach ICAC about anything she knew then that's been contained on phone taps. Let's have a listen to this Question Time exchange.
Your office was instructing all ministerial staff to report any concerns they had about Darryl Maguire at the same time you were hiding what you knew from ICAC. Why were even junior political staffers held to a higher standard than you, Premier?
Premier.
Mr Speaker, I'll reiterate what I've said on a number of occasions, is every day that I've been in my job, every day that I've served the public of this state, the public comes first in the highest levels of integrity and accountability.